there has been a dramatic turn of events when the Brotherhood took power after the revolution. But like I said before, if you look at isolated years in history, then definitely people would tend to live the moment that they're living in, and definitely the year where the Muslim Brotherhood took the reins of power was a very dark year in our history. Having said that, I stand by my version, which is this is a big ship that has started to turn. Are we there where we want it to be? Most certainly not even close, but nevertheless, this is a very long process. It started on the 25th of January. There are people who will be extremely frustrated with the turn of events. There are people who will be disappointed with the turn of events, but we should be looking for the people who can see through all this cloud to steer the ship back onto the regular path. It's never going to be easy to steer a country like Egypt back to the true path, if you wish, of progress and prosperity. It is a very difficult task, and it will be, again, a lot of people have died. Like I said before, we do not want to let go of getting to where we want it to be, because that would be letting go of their sacrifice, if you wish.
But what will it take for us to get there? You say obviously we're not there yet, but what will it take for Egypt and for Egyptians to get to that place where we do see democracy, dignity, and social justice being achieved?
That's the $100 million question, if you will. I mean, it's in very simple word, hope. The only reason that the people who went on the 25th of January took to the streets is that they believed that they had hope of change. In times where everybody else has lost hope, people came about and said that, no, we have hope. And this hope was quite alive a few years after that, when the 30th of June revolution came by. We didn't give in to the Brotherhood, and we still had hope that we could steer it back to its regular path. I mean, those were very difficult times. The 25th of January, the situation Egypt was in 25th of January was a very tough time. Again, the situation we were in before the 30th of June was even a tougher time. And in both cases, the Egyptians came in fueled by hope to get back to the right path. I don't think we can give up now.
Okay, do you agree? It's also that it's really going to take a lot of hope, and perhaps even something that the President mentioned yesterday in his speech, that we need to change ourselves first for us to see that change, that tangible change?
There's the saying that says, when the love of power, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, then the world will know peace. And then that's actually when it's going to happen. It's going to take us a very long time, but we cannot deny the fact that at least to have hope, there should be a little bit of steps. What are the steps that are giving us hope? From my perspective, I'm not a pessimistic person, but I want to see results. What we achieved, yes, we changed the president that has been there for the past 13 years. That's the only achievement that I can see. I don't think that we have the power at the moment to have hope. Maybe, like Mr. Sherif said, on the 30th of June, when we overthrew the regime of Morsi and everything, it was because we were united. But right now, when you go down the street, you don't see people united anymore. You don't see people having hope. You don't see people wanting to do anything. From my perspective, how I see it, people are actually starting to lose hope. How are we going to change this? How are we going to actually achieve what we wanted to achieve 4 years ago? It's through education, through educating people. What are the plans of educating people? What happened to educate people and enlighten them and tell them that not everything that whenever they want to object about something, they should go down the square and revolution and demonstrate against people. What are the parties actually doing to come up with another president instead of just arguing and complaining about everything that is happening in the country? What are we doing about it? We're not doing anything about it. What makes us move forward? Actually, it's nothing. It's just the fact that people have died 4 years ago on this day trying to achieve something that no one could achieve 30 years ago. No one could ever say something or do something about it. And that's what, in my opinion, is making us move forward or have a little bit of hope. But other than that, I don't see actual steps that we're taking to make us move forward.
Just to be fair, is it just the system that needs to change and needs to provide people with that hope, or is it if you will ensure sort of, we work together to...
It's more like actually people than it is a system.
Yeah.
If we changed the system and came up with a brilliant system that everyone would, I don't know, love to have, it's not going to do anything unless the people start to actually work for it. And that's why I said, the first thing I said is education. If you educate people, if you tell them what's wrong and what's right, if you tell them, if you enlighten them, if you have, if you give them the ability to think about things, then perhaps things might change. But if the people start and keep demanding things without knowing the consequences, then nothing is going to change, no matter how many regimes we have. But unfortunately, you cannot just give people education and that's it. We should give them healthcare, we should give them bread, and we should give them a lot of other things in order for this to be achieved. But what are we going to do about it? What are we doing about it now?
Okay, but again, it's a question I'd like to pose to you, Mr. Sherif. I mean, how do you see that change? I mean, who is responsible for that change? Is it just the government? Is it the people, or is it a combined effort?
Well, it's a very interesting question that you're separating government from the people. The basic demand of the people was to have a government by the people and for the people. I mean, so the government shouldn't be another entity that is completely different from the people, and that's what we wanted to achieve by revolting against Mubarak after 30 years of having a government that is completely disconnected from the people. So definitely, if that's the question, then the answer is the government should be from the people, by the people, and for the people, and that's the definition of democracy, by the way. Now, putting everything aside, I would love to know that people of authority are listening to Yusr at this point of time, because one word of warning: when the youth of the country start losing hope, that's when you should worry, because like I said, hope is our only fuel that would move this country forward. And usually hope is combined by the vision of youth. And if the young people of the country are completely losing hope and are desperate and getting to a point that they're not heard, I believe that we shouldn't fall into that trap ever again. And if you're asking for one way of calming the situation down, if you wish, then I believe that the authority should start encompassing and listening and including the young generation of this country instead of, turning against them, if you wish, after 4 years of revolution.
Okay, so do you think that obviously the spark for the January 25th revolution were the country's youth? Do you think that much has been done for them in order to recognise their efforts and obviously give them that hope that you speak of?
I think the youth, after the 30th of the revolution, got divided into two or many parts of it. And right now, I cannot say that we are being eliminated, but a big part of us are not being heard. And that's what makes me worry about it. A big part of us that are standing in the middle and don't know which sides to take, they still want to achieve what the 25th revolution was all about, are not being heard. Instead, two groups are being focused on: the ones who are completely pro-regime, no matter what happened, and the ones who are against regime. So by default, whenever something goes wrong, and it has something to do with the youth, they generalize the youth without actually putting into consideration that they are divided into a lot of things or a lot of perspectives. And that's what makes me not having this spark or this joy that today is actually the 25th of revolution, and everyone should be happy and we achieved what we wanted to achieve and we got a new regime and everything. I'm not saying that I'm against everything that is going on right now, but I'm saying that we should actually focus on the youth because they are the coming leaders. What are we doing about it right now? That's what makes me like not having that much hope.
Okay. I'd like to shed some light on the statement which was made yesterday by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, in which he praised the martyrs who came during the 2011 revolution, and just generally, what were your impressions of that statement?
Well, I was happy that the president actually mourned the people who died on the 25th of revolution. But on the other hand, let's not forget that the youth or the people in general decided to take the 25th of this month to demonstrate against the injustice that is happening, that was happening and perhaps is a little bit happening against the people from the police or from the people of the past regime. And I don't think that the people were happy about combining the day as it's still the 25th of revolution and still we're celebrating that it's the police day and everything should be calm and happy as it is, because it's not, because people actually died. So when you say you mourn the death of people that died against a specific part of your country, a specific regime, you shouldn't include them together. It's wrong. You should, of course, say that the police and everything they're doing their good job and they're trying to protect
for the sake of the country.
Of course, we cannot forget that. But it's maybe, on the other hand, it's really part of their job that they defend the country. But you cannot combine them both in one day. It's from my perspective, I'm not against the two parties, but it's wrong. It's the other part that I told you about that are against all of this are going to be furious. They will think that they're neglected, that their point of view is being eliminated, and that